One of my friends had invited me for a housewarming ceremony. And like most of these housewarming ceremonies, this was a gated community, upmarket, 2 CR plus. So a friend was telling me, this is the bedroom, this is the drawing room, this is the golf club, and this is the granite kitchen, the chandeliers and all that stuff. He took me down to the clubhouse, the tennis, and etc., etc. And this is what normally happens. My wife also tells me. See the way the world has changed. But whenever I visit such places, I'm reminded of a person who used to live in a small room full of books. The only place which I fascinate about, when the dwellings is about this person. Small room full of books, a person wearing a pajama, Gandhi cap. A person with whom I have great admiration. And this person, some of you might know, is late Dr. H. Narasimhaiah, fondly called as HN. HN, as you know, very respected figure. He did his BSc in physics, MSc over here. Then he did his PhD in Iowa State University. Came back, he started the National College, was a professor, was a principal of National College for many years, and later on the Vice Chancellor of Bangalore University. A Padma Bhushan awardee, a person who started the Rationalist Scientific Association. He started the Bangalore Science Forum. Now you might be wondering what HN has to do with today's topic, from good to great communication. And I'll tell you at the end of this, truth will not lie. Let me go back to the year 2013. I was attending a presentation skills workshop, and this was held in Indian Institute of Science. Okay. And when I attended this program, I was in Toastmaster for almost 20 years. And there were very eminent speakers. The session started at around 9:30. It went on till 5:30. Almost 10 to 11 speakers were there. The first few speakers, in fact, all speakers were good. Some of them were Toastmasters, some of them were DTMs. They came suited, booted, very impressive. PowerPoint, amazing PowerPoint, bells and whistles, sound, you name it, it was there. I was watching it all. And as the day passed on, by around 5 o'clock, as you know, the audience thinned down. Now, as you know, as it was not a corporate program, people had the choice to leave any time. Like you have the choice even now. At 5:30, 5 o'clock, the auditorium was almost empty. And there was a guy who came, his name was Ashish Datta, and he was given a project of doing business in Europe. Unlike all the previous speakers, Ashish did not have voice modulation, no fancy body language. PowerPoint was dull, white background, simple fonts. But he spoke with such passion, very simple terms. He spoke about the cultural differences between India and Europe. Okay, how one should address, what are their expectations, the context, how India is a high context culture, how Europe is a low context culture, etc., etc. Because he was speaking out of his experience. a very wise man, highly learned person, a connoisseur of Indian classical music. And at the end, he made one statement. He said, "There is no Europe," which I remember till today. Now, what does it mean by someone saying there is no Europe? What he was saying was, you can't generalize business condition in the different countries of Europe. It has to be different. It has to be as per the country. When I came out, and till today, I still remember Ashish Datta's speech. Very simple, very down to earth person wearing white shirt, black trousers, no fancy. We became good friends. He did a few sessions for me. Around 6 months back, during Guru Purnima day, Ashish called me and he said, "Do you know, Rajan, whom I remember on a Guru Purnima day?" I said, "Who?" He said, "I remember HN." I said, "Why?" To which he said, when Ashish came to Bangalore in 1995, he heard a talk from HN in the Rotary Club Central at Lavelle Road. He said that speech is still fresh in my mind. That speech is still fresh in my mind. I said, "What do you remember?" He said, nothing fancy. What he said touched my heart with his simplicity and humility. So what is the difference between a good communication and a great communication? Good communication requires all the tools and techniques: opening, body, conclusion, voice modulation, triplets, using figures of speech. Okay, you should have how to have a powerful closing. He said he did not have anything. He absolutely did not have anything. But his character, his personality spoke. I am reminded of that person. Now let's keep HN, Ashish aside. There was this guy called Ramesh, a very intelligent executive working as a project manager. He was at the crossroad, he did not know what to do. He was working as a project manager in an IT company, so he listened to a lot of talks, and then one day he goes to Vipassana master. And he says, "I have some problems." He said, "What is it?" So he said, "I have done so many things, but I don't know what to do." So it was around 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. So he said, "Would you like to have a cup of tea?" So he said, "Now you tell me a story." So the master went on pouring tea in the cup. He said, "Tell me what has happened." He said, "Yes, I'm a project manager. Now I'm 28. I want to be a CEO." So the master said, "Yes, why don't you become a CEO?" And he went on pouring the tea in the cup. After some time, he says, "But no, there is a lot of politics in this company." The cup was getting full. He said, master said, "What do you want to do?" He said, "I want to get into a startup." He said, "Yes, startup. So what happens?" "No, but startup, the investors' funds are drying up and all that stuff. But somebody says you have to convince the investor. I have joined the Toastmasters. I have done a lot of these things." So the cup got full. Now the tea was started falling into the saucer. Ramesh was getting quite irritated. Sometimes he says, "Master, forget startup, forget continuing this job. Should I go to the US?" Master said, "Yes, please go." Now the saucer was almost full, and the master was still pouring tea in the cup. But he said, "Due to Trump, I think that is useless. I think I'll better go to Canada." Master said, "That's fine." And then Ramesh could not control his anger. He says, I came to ask you for an answer. I heard you are beyond a coach and a mentor. For everything you are saying, yes. Forget you being my coach and mentor, you don't know how to pour tea in a cup. So the Vipassana master said to him, Mr. Ramesh, just look at it like this. The problem is not very relevant. Whether you want to go to US or Canada, or you want to start a startup, or you want to be a CEO. The fundamental problem is you are confused. And your mind is like that overflowing cup of tea. Unless you empty that cup, nothing great is going to get inside. And this is the first distinction between good communication and great communication. Good communication has techniques. There are project guidelines, CC, AC, L, all that stuff. Yes. What does great communication does? It doesn't give the answers, but it makes you reflect, what am I doing? Anybody Bong here? Bangla? I remember a very famous song. Some of you might recollect the Hindi version. This was sung by Hemant Kumar, which goes something like this. It goes, আমায় প্রশ্ন করে নীল ধ্রুব তারা আর কটো কাল আমি রব দিশহারা জবাব কিছুই তার দিতে পারি নাই শুধু পথ খোঁজে কেটে গেল ই জীবন সারা আমায় প্রশ্ন করে নীল ধ্রুব তারা. Now you might wonder, what does it mean? It says, আমায় প্রশ্ন করে নীল ধ্রুব তারা, the blue star shining in the sky. Is he saying, have you found your path? And then I'm saying, I'm still struggling. All these years, I'm just finding the path. I'm totally confused. The example which I said about Ramesh is like most of us. We may achieve success, but have you found the purpose in life, that North Star? Now, you might be wondering, why did I speak about HN? He did his BSc, he did his MSc. He went to the US. Normally, currently what happens? You settle in Google or Apple or somewhere. You get a good CTC and settle down. During his times also, people must have gone. Time immemorial say that yes, there is a career, there is life and all that stuff. But why did he come back? Do you know the reason? Because unlike this Ramesh or others, most of us, HN found his North Star way back in 1936. And that was, he had to walk 54 kilometers from Gauribidnur to National College to take admission to National School when he was in 9th standard. And when he was in 10th standard, the principal of the college school told him, day after tomorrow, Mahatma Gandhi is coming to our school and he is going to address to the people of Bangalore. He'll be talking in Hindi. can you translate his speech in Kannada? And young HN translated that speech. Just think about it. Don't you think listening to such a great man, translating each and every word might have changed his life, made him find his North Star? That is very important. The great communication does not only happen only by speeches, it happens to the character. Like, there was this guy, adolescent guy, age around 18, Anglo-Indian. He has been to London, passed his 10th standard, nothing great forward to look at from India. His father had expired, mother was divorced. Family friends said, now you settle, your career will happen. This young boy of 18 was just standing on the parapet wall in Jersey, around 60 miles from London. And those big waves were splashing on that wall, and it drenched him totally. And that time this boy said to himself, he said, if I can stand so firmly facing those giant waves, I can face life myself. And that day he took a decision. And what was the decision? The decision was to come back. Number one, live life as an author, write in English, and stay in a small town called Mussoorie. Now just think about it. Surviving as an author, how difficult it is. Surviving on English literature. If you see in India, 90% of the English books are guidebooks or academic books. People hardly read. A person took such a call, and that time he took a fundamental decision. The only things from where I learn is one is the second-hand bookshops and the library. Do you know whom I'm speaking about? It is about Ruskin Bond, Padma Bhushan, Sahitya Akademi Award winner, writer, one of the most famous writers of India. Those waves gave him a message. Find your own path. So, good communication is not that good communication is bad. Good communication will help you earn a living. It will help you earn a living. But a great communication helps you find a purpose in life. Good communication, if you are a student, it will help you achieving CGPA. If you are a corporate executive, it will help you achieve your KRAs, KPIs, all that stuff. If you are a businessman, it will help you achieving your top line and bottom line EBITDA. But a great communication will help you to achieve the inner victory. Just to summarize, I remember once one Vipassana master goes to a Japanese king, and he comes with a gift. So the first gift is that of a sword. So the king asks, what does it mean? So he says, this sword signifies your achievements in life. The second gift is a ring. When the king asks, what does it signify? He said, it signifies the wealth that you will acquire. And the third gift is a simple mirror. The king asks, what is the significance of this? To which he says, whether you achieve all the riches, you get everything in life. But at the end of the day, if you look at yourself in the mirror and feel pathetic, then all your achievements have no meaning. And I'm reminded of that poem titled as A Guy in the Glass, which says, when you get what you want in your struggle for pelf, when you get what you want in your struggle for pelf and the world makes you king for a day, then go to a mirror and look at yourself and see what that guy has to say. For it is not your mother, your father, or your wife whose judgment on you must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts the most in your life is the guy looking back from the mirror. He's a fellow to be pleased. He's a fellow to be pleased, never mind all the rest, for he's going to be with you clean to the end, and you have passed your most difficult and dangerous test if the guy in the glass is your friend. You may be a Jack Welch. You may be a Jack Welch, you may chisel a plum and think yourself to the most wonderful guy, but the guy in the glass is you are a bum if you can't look straight in his eyes. You may fool the whole world. You may fool the whole world down the pathway of years and get pats on the back as you pass along, but the final result shall be heartburns and tears if you have cheated the guy in the glass. So the good communication stands for the sword and the ring, your external success. And the great communication is a mirror. So the good communication helps you to climb the ladder of success. The great communication will show you whether that ladder is leaning against the right wall. To summarize what H.N. said once, he said, mediocre teachers confuse, good teachers teach, and great teachers inspire. Isn't that relevant for Toastmasters too? Okay, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Raju Parlekar, for showing us the mirror of truth about great communication, how it helps, which is clarity. Now, I think we will open up the floor for question and answer. Is that okay, sir?